Hello everybody, Lisa Strickland here. Hope you're all well today. So today we're going to have a chat about sugar and what the best alternatives are. Now, you'll have to excuse me, I have got some notes today because it just makes it easier. There's quite a lot to cover and a lot of detail to look at because it's such a broad area, sugar. It's just so entrenched in our lives that there is just so much out there about it. So, you know, most processed foods these days actually have sugar in them in some way or form. And I'm sure that most of us don't know that there are actually 61 different names for sugar. And we can miss it quite easily on the back of ingredients lists. It's actually quite scary because if you look at the list, you will find that some of the things that are on there, you would never even guessed that it was a type of processed sugar. Now, this is a list that I will put up on my Facebook page so that you can have a look and see the list and get a better idea. So if you like my page, and you can go into the files there and have a look at that list, and that will assist you to understand the amazing amount of different types of words that are used for the word sugar, so that you can keep an eye on the foods that you're eating and feeding to your family, because you know we're very aware and becoming more and more all the time that we need to reduce the amount of sugar that is in our diets. So, you know, it's linked to so many significant health concerns. You know, you've got obesity, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and there's actually also a non-alcohol related fatty liver disease that it's linked to as well. So that's something that's, you know, that most people don't know about. So there are all sorts of things. There's just so many things that sugar is linked to. You know, it lowers our immune system. There is no nutrients in it whatsoever. So all it does is lower our immune system and make us more susceptible to actually catching or actually creating a disease in our body, or to lower our immune system to make us more susceptible to the things that are around us. So really important to have an awareness and an understanding of the different types of sugar there are out there. Now, as I stated, processed sugars have no nutrients in it, so none at all. But there are more natural products that are out there that actually are still sugar, but they have some nutrient value to them and are a lot better to use than your usual processed sugars. So you've got things like maple syrup. Now, maple syrup has something like 20 different antioxidants that it has. You know, it has zinc and manganese, calcium, potassium. You know, there is goodness in it. Now, that's not saying it's not sugar, but it is a better version to sweeten the things that you would like to use it for. Now, number 2 is coconut sugar. Now, coconut sugar actually contains a fiber called inulin, and inulin actually helps lower or stabilize your blood sugar levels. So coconut sugar is a really good option if you're looking for something to sweeten what you're eating. Now, things like honey. Now, honey has antioxidants in it as well. It contains vitamin B's, C's, amino acids, you know, quite a few different nutrients that are really good for us. So there is another option. So number 3. Now, number 4 is dates. Now, dates, I love dates. Dates are full of fiber. And because of the fiber content, even though they're very high in sugar, that fiber content actually allows your blood sugar levels to stabilize. So it doesn't peak your blood sugar levels, which is fantastic. Now, the thing I do with dates is I actually make sugar out of it. So I make a date sugar. And what you can do is, it's really easy, rather than buying it in the supermarket, and you know, they always add different things to these things. You can make your own pure date sugar, and it's really quite easy. So you take the pits out of the dates, and buy the Medigel dates because they're a lot more meatier. And I put them in the oven on a tray at about 100 for once sort of you hit the half-hour mark, just keep checking them. And they actually start to brown on the outside. Make sure that they don't burn though. And so you've got these dates. So once they sort of get quite firm and you think that, you know, they're brown enough without actually starting to burn, you actually turn the oven off and let them cool down. Then once they're cool, they'll harden right up and you can just throw them in the blender and blend them up. And there you have some date sugar. So really easy to do. Now, date sugar it's not as sweet. I have to be honest, it's not as sweet as what you're used to when you're dealing with processed sugars, but it's something you get used to having that is still going to sweeten things up. The other thing you can do is you can make a date paste. Now, date paste is really great, and there's lots of recipes out there for date paste. It's literally your dates and you just blend it together with liquid. So just have a look on Pinterest and just Google it, and you will find lots of different recipes for date paste. They're really good to put into, you know, if you're making a banana bread and that sort of thing, and not, if you want that extra bit of sweetness, and you know, that without actually putting any sort of sugar in there as such. So now the actual best type of thing to use for a sweetener and for sugars is fresh fruit. You know, making banana breads, or even just making any sort of different things. You can use bananas for a lot of stuff, and you just mash them up. Now, I don't actually put sugar in my banana breads. I actually just have banana in them, because I find the bananas, if you leave them so that they are getting sort of a lot, you don't have them when they're green, just allow them to get a little bit brown and really ripe, and they are that you don't need anything else other than that. So fresh fruit, you know, you can grind up all sorts of things and add them to your food when you're cooking your sweets that most people are using their sugars for. Okay, so that's really a really good option, is your fruit. And then you've got the other things that I talked about, the maple syrup and the honey and that sort of thing. But be really, really aware of what you're intaking in regards to your sugar. It's so important. You know, we really need to look after ourselves. People just seem to be getting a lot more things these days, and it does have to do with the fact that we are putting sugar in literally everything that is processed. You know, look at the supermarket. Look, even some of your tinned vegetables, actually, they put sugar in to sweeten them up. So just try and you know, have a little bit more awareness of what you're doing. And if you need anything or you want any advice, please just pop it into the comments below, and I am more than happy to assist you further. All right, I hope this has helped, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.